Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? All right, we're gonna check our audio, make sure. I don't think we're make sure our audio is good before we start the show tonight. Hope everybody's well out there. I'm excited for the show
You're in a
tonight.
fishbowl.
All right, wait, give it a second. I think it'll be. It should catch up in a second. We're gonna test the audio, make sure everything sounds good before we start rolling off tonight. Like I said, I'm excited. This has been a long time coming. Duke's a good buddy of mine. I'm excited to introduce some of you guys to this guy tonight. It's gonna be a hell of a show. Sound better?
Okay, I think we're good now. Yeah.
All right. I was
You
waiting
started talking before you changed your mic over.
I know.
I tell you that every week.
I don't know why it resets sometimes. Oh well, it's up and running now.
All right.
But the intro never played.
Nope.
I don't know why.
I don't know. Everything was working. I don't know why it didn't play.
Oh well. That's why it's always better to listen to this sometimes when it's downloaded. We're always fumbling live, and we get to make it up later. All right, you ready?
All right, here we go. Okay. Hello and welcome everyone to season 6 of the Melodies and Memories podcast. I'm your co-host, Jillian Shriver.
And I'm your host, Aaron Shriver.
Our mission tonight is to provide a platform for motivated singer-songwriters, passionate fans, or someone who is making a difference in and around the music community. We hope everyone listening leaves inspired with a positive outlook and begins connecting their own melodies to memories. Tonight, we're presented by our good friends at Arlo Revolution, cinematic wedding films, music videos, and promos. Find them at arlorevolution.com. One Tree Planted. For every 1,000 downloads of the show, we plant a tree with One Tree Planted. Download the show on your favorite podcast app. Pod decks. Pod decks are the hottest tool to get your next great interview, unique interview questions in the palm of your hand. Our on-screen sponsors, Art on a Higher Wire by Joelle, original and custom artwork inspired by your life's moments, treasured photos, and memories, and Shed Services. At Shed Services, we offer a full range of maintenance services depending on your needs. Find them at shedservices.com. If you're looking for ways to sponsor Melodies and Memories, then please head over to our Please head over to our Patreon page. Tiers start at just $1. If Patreon is something that you can't do, the next best way to support the show is to like, share, and review, and then subscribe. Remember, you can join us live every Monday night at 7 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube, where you can interact with the show, ask questions, or join in on the live chat with your favorite guests. Remember to visit our website, melodiesandmemories.com, for music news, concert reviews, and photos, playlists, and more.
I'm so glad you do that now.
I'm terrible at that.
No, you're not.
I talk too fast.
A little bit. No, you got you on that stuff. It's all the legal stuff you got to get through, you know? So that's why I'm like, I won't pass it on. Let you
I'll
do
get
it.
Better. Was this week 3? Week 4 will be, I'll knock it out of the park.
Well, like I said, guys, I'm very excited. Tonight we welcome in Duke Oursler for episode 145. Duke is a Western Illinois singer-songwriter whose hard work and dedication is starting to pay off for him. Duke's roots are deep in the Mississippi mud, and so are the lyrics to each of his songs. Tonight we are honored to discuss the melodies and memories that make up his journey. We're going to welcome Duke on. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Jillian, I think you did a great job at the intro.
Thank you. Thank you.
She's getting better.
I tried.
I'll tell you,
there sometimes.
It's a mouthful that you got to do there.
It is
thank you.
It's a long read, but hey, she took it on like a champ. So I was like, hey, there you go, dude. Welcome to the show. We are so excited to have you because we know you listen to the show a lot too. So it's really cool to have someone that has a guest that also supports us as much as you do, and working with you too, man. It's been awesome to be able to go out and shoot some photos for you here and there and just get to know you, man, over the last little bit.
Likewise, my man. I appreciate you guys having me on. I do enjoy your podcast. I do listen to all the time because I get to listen to people that I don't, I won't get to hear conversations with normally, and you guys do a great job talking to folks. You had one of my favorite writers on. You had Stephen Wilson Jr. on one time. And after that, I was hooked, man. Not only am I a user, but I am a client or a member, whatever, the whole hair club thing.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, I'm in that club tonight too. So, we like to start this show. We like to throw it way back, man, and start off the same way. I always like to know everybody's first concert experience, and also what was being played in the house, man. What really got you into music, like your earliest music memory?
Well, my first concert experience was actually like way later in life. There wasn't a whole lot of I grew up in Western Kansas, so there wasn't a whole lot of concerts going around where I was at. But my first musical experience or memory, I think, is my mom had a Iron Butterfly record with In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, like the 17-minute version. And I remember listening to that and going, holy cow, man, that was kind of wild. This long rock song from the 70s. And then I don't even remember what it's from now, and then my dad listened to a bunch of jazz. And I never really understood what the hell was going on there, but I liked it, but my first concert experience was in Colby, Kansas. Do you remember the band Ricochet?
Yeah, dude.
That was the first concert I ever saw it was at a like little local kind of show house there up in Colby, like community building, and they came in, and I thought it was wild. They had like they all like put their instruments down and went over to the drums, and we were playing the drums together as a big band, and I'm trying to remember what that song was that they had that was real popular. It was like in the early 90s. She's got her daddy's money.
Yes,
that's daddy's money.
Yeah. I know. All right.
So that was probably my first concert experience.
I knew the band, but I couldn't think of the song.
Yep.
Yeah, her mama's good looks more.
Yep, we all know. Yep. Love that song.
Oh man, 90s country is definitely it's played a lot over here. So yeah, I love that stuff. So what really got you into playing, man? You're a singer-songwriter yourself now. Did you start young, or where did you start? Where did you like kind of start writing at? Where did you start playing guitar? Were you self-taught?
Well, I was self-taught. I remember when I was in high school. A friend of mine, a guy by the name of Josh Jacka, was a good buddy of mine back in high school and junior high and elementary school and stuff. His family had a rock band, and his like stepdad played in a band, and Josh was an amazing guitar player, and he had a band called the Daily Grind, and which is a fantastic band name. They were like a punk rock band, but I remember watching him play and wanting to learn how to play. And then another buddy of mine, a guy named Justin Parlett, gave me a CD, a Dave Matthews Band CD, like back in the early 90s and or the mid 90s. And I was like, man, this guitar this is amazing. I loved it. And so I was like, this can't be that hard to play guitar. You just got to push some strings down, So I went out and started buying, at the time, the internet wasn't what it is now, where you can just pull up tabs on guitars, and so I would go and buy Acoustic Guitar Magazine and learn the tab out of the back of the magazine, Beatles songs and Stone songs and country songs, and just kind of taught myself that way. And then I realized early on that my guitar playing was getting a little bit better. My singing wasn't quite there yet, but so covering other people's songs could be kind of tough. So I would start writing my own. And by the time I got to college, I was just writing my own stuff. And there's so much fun stuff to write and so many cool stories to tell about people you meet, and that's kind of how it started, I guess.
Before you started writing songs, were you writing anything else? Like, were you writing any kind of poetry, or did you keep a journal, anything like that?
Well, I did have a little bit of journaling, but my dad talked a lot. So if there was a journal, it was just like a never-ending conversation with my dad. It was like, so a lot of songs get inspired by some of those conversations. As a matter of fact, my dad got me my first guitar when I told him I wanted to play guitar. He traded like a 45 Colt to a guy, traded a gun to a guy for my first guitar. That was like a 1974, like Sears and Roebuck Silvertone. And it was this old school Western. I still have it. It don't sound very good, but I still have it.
It probably has a unique sound.
Awesome.
Yeah,
it does. It does have a unique sound. That's what we'll call it, unique.
Dude, the way the guitars I've seen out there now and the sounds, everything has such a different sound to it. There might be a song one day you write that goes, dude, that would sound perfect on that old guitar. Look at Steven Wilson Jr., dude. Look at those guitars and stuff like that. You might be like, that might be perfect for that. So
that's right. He's got that old gut string guitar. I don't know. That Sears and Roebuck guitar, was really popular because it was made at a plywood top, and you could buy them pretty, reasonably, but I think they still sell for, $300 or so on eBay, so maybe if I ever get big, I'll give it away or something, like raise some money for the charity or, for my buddy's horse farm or something.
Other than that guitar, do you have anything else, any other guitars special in your collection? I know you have a couple, but didn't you have one that has really meant something to you?
I have a couple. I mean, I have my guitar that I play all the time. I have a Martin D28 that I play all the time. Other guitar that I have is actually not mine. It's my father-in-law's.
Yeah.
And it's just like the guitar behind you. It's a Hummingbird, a Gibson Hummingbird. And I play it from time to time and kind of carry it around as my backup guitar. But it's a family guitar that his daughters and my wife and all of them have seen and have had around the house. And so it's kind of fun to have and play and work with. And my sister-in-law, Molly, always just like, oh, we got to get that thing ready to give to the nephew. And like, well, a couple years. But it's a great guitar. And, my father-in-law played a lot of guitar and played a bunch of old goat rope music. And I played with him a bunch until he passed a few years ago. But it was a lot of fun. It's cool to have that stuff and kind of carry
the memories just that continue on with these guitars. And that's why I love having stories like that or hearing stories like that. Because, I mean, that's like this guitar behind me. It's going to be passed on to the kids and hopefully it stays in the family for a while. Before we had kids, it's like, hey, just bury me with it.
Yeah. Well, sometimes as objects, they can carry a whole lot of sentimental value. I start to feel guilty, though, if I don't use something. Like, if the guitar's sitting there and it's like such a beautiful object, such a wonderful thing that can do all this stuff. And if it just sits there, it's kind of like, oh man, I feel like it's dying or something, So I got to get them out and play them a little bit, kind of drag them around. I don't want them to sit too long. I'd rather have it in the hands of someone that's going to do something with it, make music, than just sit there. But I totally get it,
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was talking with you before the show, and we were talking kind of about the guitar behind me, and I'm like, there's times where I'll have people still come out and play it and bring it up because it's a guitar still. It's meant to be played. So interested to see what happens with Willie's guitar down the road.
Oh yeah, well that thing's going straight to the Smithsonian, I bet.
Has to.
I don't. No one should touch that thing. I'm afraid to look at it. I'm afraid.
I hear you on that. So over all the times that you've been doing music, who do you feel has taught you, been or kind of just taught you about being a musician the most, or who have you learned from? I know now you're working with a mutual friend, Mike Heimbaugh from Hello Dave, but who do you think has taught you the most that you've learned over the years?
Well, I would say in terms of like actually playing and stuff, I mean, I played a lot with my father-in-law. We would sit around and drink probably way too many beers and just play songs until we were blue in the face. I learned a lot of country songs from him, but I've been inspired by all kinds of musicians. Like I said, early on in my life, I was really interested in what Dave Matthews was saying and singing. I was like, this guy is writing songs about really interesting, like happy song about death or something, like, oh, that's kind of weird. And I really liked that juxtaposition in terms of a writing standpoint. But there's other guys too that really kind of inspire me. I've always been a fan of like 90s country a bit, because I grew up in the 90s. So it was kind of easy to be a fan of that. Alan Jackson and Dwight Yoakam. I love Dwight Yoakam. I thought he was kind of a bad boy, and thought, okay, that's kind of that's different kind of a vibe, And so I don't know. It's kind of hard to say too. I end up doing things, and I'm like, someone will say, "Oh, well, that sounds like so and so," and I'll be like, "Oh, I didn't really realize that," because I was up on who they were or whatever, And but my father-in-law probably was one of the bigger influences on me. And my friend, another friend of mine, I'll tell you too. There's a guy named Bruce Day that he's going to play some music with me, play my band. But Bruce is a great guy, and early on in my kind of professional experience as a musician, I saw Bruce, and Bruce was out there playing and singing from the top of his lungs, and like his on stage presence was unbelievable. And I thought, man, that's the ticket. You know, you get on stage, you put on a good performance, and you're up there kind of in that moment. And I love that. And Dave Matthews definitely did that too. You know, if you ever seen a live Dave Matthews performance, he's very much energetic, right?
I remember learning how to drive a car to Under the Table and Dreaming.
Yeah.
So I will never forget. What was the song? Satellite. That was my favorite song by Dave Matthews. Was Satellite. I love that one.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, man.
Oh, I remember that Satellite song. My high school girlfriend, her sister loved that song. It was like on repeat. You know, it was played it constantly every time I walked in the house. You know, it was going on. So.
Probably had the same playlist I was playing, because I think I had it on repeat all the time too. That's a hell of a song.
Yeah,
but man, I love that. Doing all this, and we're going to talk kind of about your other life too here in a minute. But what motivates you to wanting to keep performing, make music, man? What keeps motivating you? Because you are a very busy guy, and you have a very busy 9 to 5, and which we'll, like I said, we'll talk about here in a second. But what keeps you motivated to keep wanting to make music and perform?
Well, I'm selfish. You know, I mean, I don't know. There obviously, you know, I mean, narcissism is an ingredient to creativity, because creativity is a experience that you, when you do something that others find valuable, it like automatically kind of touches you in your heart and in, you know, in your soul. So when you do something like that, you get a real big rush, you know. I, you know, I love that. I love turning people on, making people happy, telling a story where they giggle or smile or, you know, relate to in some kind of way. And a lot of my music is very much story narrative driven, and where I tell a story or give advice, songs, you know, that kind of thing. So, you know, just seeing that light, man, seeing someone like light up or come up after a show and it's like, that song you sang about, you know, your dad was great, or that song that you sang about getting arrested was really funny, you know, or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And there's the other thing is I find that when all these people that I talk to and get to kind of communicate with through music and like at shows and whatnot, they have amazing stories. There's so many amazing stories, unique stories out there, and I like hearing them. Then I like to take them and make them my own and put them in a song if I can. You know, just hearing those stories. You know.
And I think that's what connected with me, like listening to your music too. At first was just like, I could relate to, like, I could put myself in your songs. You're very relatable, and everybody knows we're diehard Eric Church fans. I think that's what I kind of got from him. He's a singer-songwriter that could really portray stories. And I see that a lot of that in you, the way you portray these songs, these stories, dude. I love that.
Hey, thank you. So that's a big compliment. I appreciate that.
Seriously, though, dude, you're a storyteller, and that's what I really look for in singer-songwriters. I want to hear the stories and be able to live them too. Like man, especially some of these songs. Yeah.
Well, we owe a lot
Mississippi song.
Yeah, the Mississippi song, right? Well, we owe a lot to Eric Church, and like when now I'm totally blanking on the record that came out. Like it was in one of his first records that had "Drink a Little Drink, Smoke a Little Smoke" on it. And
Carolina,
yeah. And I had gotten a CD of that, and it was just cranking it, and I was like, dude, this guy is writing about real stuff. You know, he was talking about fun things and some nostalgic things, but at the same time, he was making some comments. You know, there were some aspirational qualities to it. You know, there were some kind of virtues that he was singing about, and it wasn't just, you know, pickup trucks and beer or whatever. You know, it was deeper, and I think that, and you know, I really appreciate that about what he's doing, and I appreciate that you might hear a little bit of that in what I'm writing.
Yeah, dude. No, it's not just pickup trucks and beer about with you, and that's what I love about your music, because it's a lot more than that. You talk about we talk or we'll talk about the American dream here in a minute, but you talk about the blue collar worker, and because you are one. I want you to talk a little bit about your day job, man.
Okay.
Kind of what got you into sculpting, and tell everybody what you do for a living.
Well, I'm an artist. That's what I tell people. I'm an artist, you know. Because when I tell them I'm a professor at a university, they usually go, "That's bullshit, man." You know? So, or they're like, "Seriously, what do you teach?" And like, yeah. When I tell them I teach art, and then they're always like, "Oh, well, that doesn't make that much sense either, because you look like some kind of Neanderthal," you know. But you know, I've been. If it wasn't for art, I really don't know what I'd do. I mean, I'm definitely oh, that's my wife. She looks beautiful. That picture.
I had to find at least a non-beard picture of you. So
yeah,
would not have recognized you at all.
Yeah, I was like a little baby. So as a kid, you know, I was always making art and drawing. I could draw fairly well, you know, and it was just something I kind of just naturally could do, you know. And I wasn't super great at school. You know, I graduated high school by the skin of my teeth. I graduated junior college by the skin of my teeth. But I was pretty courageous and unafraid to commit myself to art. And I remember one of the jobs I had. I've done a million jobs. Like, you know, when I was in high school, I did like hot tar roofing for my buddy. You know, which was terrible. And then I've mowed lawns, I've done residential irrigation systems, but I remember for years I was working at Sears selling lawn tractors, and there was this old German guy that came in, and I had dropped out of school and I was playing music, and I thought, well, you know, I want to play music full time. This is what I want to do. And so to do that, I was going to go back to school and get a degree. I thought, if I get a job that pays $30,000 a year, then I could pay my bills and play music on the weekends and stuff and live the life, you know. And the fastest way to do that was to finish my art degree. Mm-hmm. And I went back to school to finish my art degree. And I told that old German guy that came in there, he'd walk around Sears and get his exercise. And he said, "You're making the biggest mistake of your life." He's like, "I can't believe you would do that." And it's the best thing I ever could have done. Mm-hmm. Back and bet on myself. And I went back and finished my degree, and I met another guy that was another artist, a visual artist, a sculptor. And he became my mentor, and we've worked together. We still work together to this day on art projects. And I make public art. I make large scale public sculpture, and I have it all over the country. I got it, you know, here in Macomb. I've got it down in the Southeast, and I'm making all kinds of stuff. You know, I largely work with my materials that I work with are steel or stainless steel or bronze, you know, and I do a lot of welding and, you know, heat it up and beat it up, and, you know, it pushes back against me. So that's kind of nice. I really like that quality of the material. I need some adversity, you know, something to climb over, you know, to feel really good about making something. It's always, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just love that you're a teacher, and like what you do like every day, and then still you teach music on the side of the class. Yeah, man, you're just doing it. Like,
well, you know, I have some amazing students, and there's a lot of like really talented kids out there who need them, you know, need to see what it's like to be an artist. I mean, you got to hustle. It's no joke. You're gonna try and be an artist. It ain't easy, you know, especially a visual artist, you know, let alone a musician. You know, if you're a musician too, it's the same thing. You got to go out there and hustle. Yep. You got to write hundreds of songs before you can write a good one. You know, it's just a tough thing, but it's like anything. I always tell my students this, and this is I think good advice for any artist or any aspiring artist would be that the answers to all of your problems are in the studio. And what I mean by that is they're in the studio, they're in there working on the piece of art that you're making, or, you know, with your guitar in your hand, trying to write better, writing songs. You got to be in the space that you're writing and write all the time. That's where you'll find the answers, and that's where you'll get better. Just forcing yourself to do it, and you got to be disciplined. If you're not disciplined, the success just does not come. I mean, there can be people who can get popular and famous real quick on something, but if you want to have some longevity in a career, you got to be disciplined.
Yeah. And you don't give up, man. I love that, man. You're a fighter. And the way I love that is because you work so damn hard during the day, and you work so damn hard on your music at the same time too. So
I appreciate that, man. I used to actually be a fighter.
I know.
Yeah.
You've done it all, man. You've done it all.
You're very well.
If you're like me, we can't slow down, man. If we slow down, we're done.
Got to keep moving. I'll tell you that I was a fighter. I fought MMA in college because I needed to buy art materials to make art for the studio. I couldn't afford to buy metal, and so I could go out and whether win or lose, if I went and fought, I could make $300. And after about 2-3 months of fighting, I saved up some money and was able to buy the material I needed and make the art that I needed to get me into graduate school so that I could become a professor.
I love that. Always fighting. So I told you, I'm always fighting. Literally too.
Yeah, right.
I love that, buddy. So one of your songs that I wanted to kind of talk about that really stood out to me. And if you want to play this one later on instead of the one that I picked, you're more welcome to. It's up to you.
Okay.
But Promised Land, man, I really love that song and the story about where it came from. Tell us a little bit of backstory about that song and where it came from.
Yeah. Well, Promised Land, I'm going to release Promised Land pretty soon. I'm actually going to be releasing a full band version and a kind of an acoustic version at the same time. So Promised Land is an advice song. And I lost my dad over about a year and a half ago. My dad passed away. He was 80 years, he was older than 80, he was actually 81. But he was an amazing man and had all kinds of wonderful advice. And he could talk your ear off and just full of great stories and one-liners and stuff like that. And when he passed, I started having these like extremely vivid dreams about, of him and talking to him. And I'd wake up in the morning time after having him, and I literally just was talking to him, and I could not tell the difference between talking to him in my dreams and then feeling like I just hung up the phone with him. And so, I mean, this was going on for months, and so I just kind of was writing down stuff from those dreams and thinking about things that he said to me over time. I have a lot of people will tell me, well, you were actually talking to your dad in your dream. And that might be true, but the thing is that it didn't matter whether I was actually talking to my dad or that I wasn't, is that I couldn't tell the difference, so he's in there, and I just started writing those things, and the song Promised Land came out, and it's an advice song. One of the very first part of that song is a lyric that says, "Life is the search for beauty and truth." And there was a quote that he told me and my brother and everybody else that would listen. And I don't really know where he got it from. But it wasn't about finding beauty and truth. It was about searching for it. And it made me realize, like, nah, this is the journey. What we have is right now. What we have is right here. This is the journey. This is what we're doing. We're searching for it together. And I always love that notion. And the song just kind of grew out of that. And I'm pretty proud of it. And yeah, I'd love to play it for you later if you want me to. What song do you want me to play for you? What do you think?
Well, I had Set Me Free down, but then I was thinking, I'm like, dude, I want to do some Promised Land.
All right, yeah.
And since we already talked about it, that's the one I think we got settled on.
Okay, yeah, I'd love to play it for you.
Yeah, because I was doing, I'm like, oh, I had something free down for like months. I don't know. I did the rundown
so
a while
many
ago.
good ones.
Yeah, but I was just like, there's so many good ones. I got to settle on one of them soon.
Well, I'm really excited to release that song. I got some new music, and that song and another song called On My Way coming out.
Nice.
And another song called Go for Broke, which is a story of my father's side of the family. And I'm really looking forward to releasing that and sharing it with y'all.
Nice, man. Well, what else do you have on the horizon? Let's we'll wrap that up before we move on to our sponsored part of the night. But what does the rest of the 2022 into 2023 look like for you?
Well, I got my band together. I got some great guys who are going to be playing with me here in 2023. I'm setting up some shows, going to be kind of traveling around the Midwest a little bit and playing. So, I mean, if you want to hear me play, like, find me on the old Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or wherever, you can find me, and hopefully I can play for you. I've been working with my good friend Mike Heimbaugh, and Mike Heimbaugh is one of the best musicians I've ever met, and he is producing this music with me, and I could not be anywhere close to making the fantastic music that I feel like I'm making now without him. And we're both excited about releasing this new stuff. And it's kind of funny, you get a partner, someone that is like into what you're doing as much as you're into what you're doing. It's fun, and we've got a bunch of songs ready to go, or that are getting ready to come, and more songs in the hopper that we got to finish producing and recording, and so I'm really looking forward to that. And I also got some other kind of things that I can't quite talk about yet, but are going to be exciting in the springtime and this or this late winter time. So
you can't wait, man. I know you have so much on the horizon too that is just bubbling away, and I can't wait to you can just let it go.
Yeah, I want to share
because it's gonna be
stuff.
cool.
I can't wait.
Man, you got some really cool things coming up, and we look forward to just watching you grow. That's why I was saying you're just ready to. You're right there, man. You're ready for that breakout.
Hey, I'll tell you this too. For any musicians that are listening to this, if you all are up in the Chicago area and you need some fantastic photos for your social media content, you got to call Aaron. He will help you out. He is fantastic at that. So,
well, and if you're in Nashville on December 11th, you get to hear Duke at our next songwriters event. So
that's right. We're playing down in Nashville at the songwriter event. I can't wait to do that. We got a whole crew of folks coming down. So
that's amazing.
And
that's awesome.
We're getting ready to announce the lineup. I think November 1st, we're announcing the full lineup. So we cannot wait. And
stay tuned.
It's a great lineup. I mean, you got to see a few of the names on there, so we cannot wait.
Yeah.
To announce that our next big event.
I can't wait to go down there and hee-haw around and have some good times.
It'll be great.
You're going to have some fun down in Nashville. So it's always a good time in Nashville.
Heck yeah.
All right, we're going to move down over to our Powered by Pod Deck section of the night. I pulled a couple cards earlier. The first one is, which quality do you think is more important for a musician, a unique style or technical skill?
Ooh.
Yeah, that was a good one. I saw that card. I'm like, this would be a good one for Duke.
Yeah, well, I would say this. I mean, the technical skill is going to equate into a unique style, right? So if you become super technically proficient at something, that's going to allow you to do something different stylistically than the others. So I think a unique style would probably be the thing that actually is going to set you apart. Whether you achieve that unique style through the acquisition of some badass guitar skills or vocal skills or songwriting skills, that's what I would say. I'm working on that unique style thing. I gotta figure it out.
Dude, I think you already have it.
Yeah.
I think you already have.
I do too.
When we were at it in one of your photo shoots was the one from when he opened for Hello Day. We're like, he just has his own style, like photogenic. Just
you are very photogenic.
Yes, I love it.
Well, thanks. I got that from my mother.
Yes. No, you for sure have
so our second one is you and I have had a lot of cool long talks here and there. And when I saw this card, I was like, this would be a cool question for you because we've talked music a lot. But if you could go on tour opening for any artist, living or dead, who would that be? Like, who would be your perfect tour?
Ooh, that's a tough one because I think about like who I would like to. Part of me wants to say, I would just love to go watch these guys on tour, But right now, there's some really good country artists that are out there and that I like to go. Like I'd love to go play with Charles Wesley Godwin. Like Charles Wesley Godwin right now, I've been listening to him for a long time. I love his stuff. Obviously, like Zach Bryan, we are going and seeing the electric like scene around those guys right now. I mean, they are just, you know what I think about it when I look at it, it's or see what's going on with that group of writers. It's kind of like underground, like the 90s, like underground rap scene where people were just like, oh, did you hear this new guy? Like, and like, oh, don't share it, or, you know, or whatever, you know.
Not like mainstream, but like fantastic.
Yeah, there's just electricity around it, and writing stuff that's super thoughtful and really, you know, well thought out music, you know. So if I could go on if I could open for anybody right now, it would be, let's do the Duke, Zach, and Charles Wesley Godwin tour. Let's make it happen.
Oh man, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome, because that'd be the perfect tour. So all right, well,
we'll get Steven Wilson Jr. to come too. It'll be great.
Oh, dude,
cool.
Yeah, dude. I think he's been cheating though, because now we're gonna move on to our melodies and memories section of the night. So I think he's been cheating.
Oh boy.
No, so I picked 4 songs. We're gonna play 8 seconds of each song, and the first memory you have with this, and I went more newer. So you probably have some newer memories.
All right.
But we'll see. Go ahead and hit. Let's see what's what. We're already talking about them, so hit Yellow. So Charles Wesley Godwin, man, Over Yonder is one of my favorite songs. When you hear that song, man, where does it take you? Like, where you at?
Okay, so it takes me to Iowa City, the Wildwood. In Iowa City, there's a bar and grill, Wildwood Bar and Grill. And my wife and my buddy Nick and I and his wife, we all drove up there, and we got a hotel room. And at the hotel room, they had screwed up. They told us there was a pool there, which we didn't really care about the pool. It was like freezing cold. We weren't going to go swimming, but they felt guilty that the pool was not finished being renovated. So they gave us an open bar tab. And so we just sat there at the open bar, sucking down beer, and like we were trying weird whiskeys. And there was another group, this guy and his wife from Wisconsin, that were there too. They drove down there to see him, and the 7 of us just had open bar and then went to the concert. It was great, and he was a fantastic performance. The whole situation was great. That's the memory I have from Charles Wesley Godwin.
I love
that's
that,
fantastic. Dude. I can't believe they would do that. That's cool.
Hey, that's a cool story.
Open bar, dude. You can't turn it down.
No.
Oh, there was many times yes, I know how that goes. I know how those nights end up. All right, go ahead and hit that green one.
Oh, I love that song, man.
I know this was one of your favorites. So Washed by Water, Need to Breathe. When you hear that song, man, where's it taking you?
Well, it takes me to my cabin at the river. And I spend majority or as much time as I possibly can. Was just up there last weekend working at the cabin. It's a cabin up on stilts on the Illinois banks of the Mississippi River. And I write a lot of music about it. When I first heard that song, I just remember, okay, this is a good analogy or way to think about it. When I go to the river, sometimes I'm going to the river to go to the club because my buddies are over there drinking and hee-hawing around, and we're doing crap shoots and hunting ducks and all that kind of stuff. But I also go to the river to go to church, you know, to find that spirit, you know, and the river can be church. It can also be the club. But man, that song makes me think about going to church at the river and seeing that water and the fog. And it's just, you know, washing sins and worries away of the world. That's what I think about when I think about a song. I mean, Need to Breathe is an amazing band. They got
they are. That's why when I was researching a little bit, I saw that you covered this song. I was like, you know, that has to be one I throw in there.
Yeah, that's my brother-in-law. I play that song for my brother-in-law a lot. He loves that song.
Hell yeah, man! All right, go ahead and hit Yellow. You're gonna like this one.
Yeah,
1994, Steven Wilson Jr. Man, one of my favorite songs. When when you hear that, where does that song take you?
Okay, it takes me to
I know where it
baseball
takes
practice.
me.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, it makes me think about baseball practice. My family, we didn't have a lot of money, and I remember like all my buddies were getting "No Fear" T-shirts, and there's a lyric in that song about his sweatshirt said "No Fear," and I had gotten this "No Fear" T-shirt, and I wore it to baseball practice. So my mom's like, "Don't you dare get that thing dirty." Of course, like I'm like in the dirt. I'm the catcher. I'm getting really wild and ruined the T-shirt, but I lived it. No fear at the time.
Oh yeah, dude.
So,
yeah,
I think of that.
I had to throw that song in there because I know
He's
it
such a
takes
great
everybody back. And honestly, that was me. That was me with the headphones on the floor of my bedroom, listening to with the Walkman going, just listening to music, dude.
Yeah. So, no, he's great, man. I love that song.
All right, this last one's gonna bring it all together for us. Hit the green one. All right, we got some Hello Dave Golden. If you guys don't know who that is, check them out. They're a Chicago band. They're just phenomenal. But when you hear some Hello Dave, it doesn't have to be Golden. Just when you hear Mike singing, dude, where's that take you?
So it takes me the first time I met Mike. Like I had started, or I got recognized by a guy that was in Cedar Falls, where I was living at the time, who was a drummer, a guy named Luke Rathy. He's down in Nashville playing drums for some band. I don't know what the band is, but we were in this band called Third Person, and basically they were playing my songs. We had a lead singer, and I was just over there writing all the music and playing acoustic guitar. And Luke was like, I got us this gig opening for Hello Dave. And my roommate at the time was like, are you kidding me? You guys are playing with Hello Dave? And so we went to the bar, and Mike Heimbaugh was there, and I didn't know who he was. And I looked over at him, and I kind of thought, that guy's the lead singer? And then he got up on stage, and I was like, holy shit, man. Like, this dude can sing. And their whole on-stage performance, the sound, it was just unbelievable. I love Hello Dave. He's a great, or the band. Heimbaugh is an amazing writer, singer, producer. I appreciate everything he does.
I was waiting to see if your video. Yeah, I think you're frozen on our end.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're okay.
It's all good. We still hear you. You're fine.
Your audio's good. Your face is just frozen.
Yeah, I'm frozen probably in a really attractive
Actually, you look very peaceful. Your eyes are closed. It's like you're taking your, you're connecting your memories to your melody.
Yeah, there you go, right?
I wonder if
No, I love Hello Dave too. When Aaron and I first started dating and he took me to those shows, they're so fun. Like their stage presence fantastic, Mike's fantastic, and the crowd is so engaged. Like I had never been to a show where the crowd was so engaged with
Am I back?
a band. Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, you're back now.
I don't know what happened there. It's probably my computer. Sorry.
Yeah.
No,
good.
That was a unique experience, but it's never
Jillian. Jillian, you're right. Where did you guys see Hello Dave for the first time?
Oh my God. Well, you were seeing him before we started dating many years ago.
It had to be probably like House of Blues, something like that.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember I saw OAR open up for Hello Dave. Way back when at the House of Blues, man. And
might have been House of Blues.
Way back when, but it's probably like a House of Blues show or something.
Or somewhere in Chicago.
There was a funny story. Mike Heimbaugh posted a picture a while back, and it was like, "Hello, Dave," and then like a little Zach Brown. It was like, this is back when I was more popular than Zach Brown. They played with some big names.
Yeah, and there was times in Chicago where if you didn't get a ticket right away for one of their shows, you weren't getting a ticket. I mean, they would sell out. So they were
a good following. They still do.
They did those USO tours, and I mean, just to do that, that's the cool thing about a band that's willing to go over and play music for the troops. Is like, I mean, that's
you don't know what's going to happen going over there.
What's that?
So I said, you don't know what's going to happen going over there or anything. Like anything can happen. Just seeing them do that, and so I love what they still do to this day, man. It's just amazing.
Yep.
All right. Now that we got your video back, it's time to put you on the hot seat. So you got a little, I don't know. I guess to say you're one up already because you kind of already know these questions. A lot of my guests don't know a lot of these questions. So, what's the first vinyl you ever purchased?
I didn't purchase the first vinyl I ever had. I stole it. But it was Licensed to Ill, the Beastie Boys, with the big had that big airplane on it with that was like you open it up, it was like crashing into a mountain or something. I stole it from my sister, so I didn't steal it from the store, but I remember listening to that, and it was an Inagata Davida.
Nice, dude. If you had endless, oh man, I love that one. That was a good album too. If you had endless supply of something, dude, there's a line, something about mashed potatoes in a song, and my buddy used to say all the damn. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
my buddy used to say that all the time, and I'm like, I still have that imprinted in my head. All right, if you had an endless, go ahead, man.
If I had, what was the question?
Oh, if you had an endless supply of something, what would it be?
Probably weed.
You and me both.
I'm a big advocate. I think that I think folks need to give it a shot.
I agree. I mean, it's not for everybody, but sometimes you know what, you don't know it until you try it. So
next thing would be guitar strings. I getting tired of every show. I just beat my guitar up too much, and I'm breaking strings too often. So I take an endless supply of guitar strings. Might save me a few $1,000.
So in all your travels, man, who has the best pizza you've ever had?
Oh, so I'll probably. Oh God, I hope folks in Chicago don't hear me. So the first time this is the best pizza I thought I ever had, but it was at Nancy's. I was up in Palatine, and my buddy ordered this pizza. It was a deep dish pizza. I never had one before because and it was from Nancy's, and I was like, I was blown away by it. But then I talked to my buddy about it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, Nancy's just like some kind of chain." I was like, "Well,
it's still good, right?"
It was very good. I don't have a very sophisticated pizza palate,
No, but it's always interesting to see because, like, I need to make a list because we ask every guest this. I need to make a list of like the best pizza joints that have been recommended by our guests.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, all right, the strangest thing you've ever seen in the middle of the road.
Well, it was the it was the 1-ton vibratory plow that fell off the back of the trailer that I was hauling. I was doing irrigation for a company, but in between one summer, and I was hauling this trailer, and the strap came undone, and the vibratory plow knocked the ramp down on the trailer, and it rolled off the thing. It was doing somersaults down the highway, and there was like hydraulic fluid and everything all over the road. And I just happened to get lucky. There was a fellow with a tractor and a big hay bale fork, and he was able to pick it up and put it on my trailer. And I got out of there before, I got in trouble. But that was in the middle of the road, and I wish I hadn't seen it there.
Oh my goodness, that's scary.
That was very scary. The worst day job you've ever had.
Okay.
You can lead into that, huh?
Well, doing irrigation was a tough job because a lot of holes, digging a lot of holes, and that was not the funnest one. But I would say though that one summer I did some roofing, hot tar asphalt roofing. I did that, and that was terrible. I hated that.
Hell no.
I need to write a song about that. That was terrible.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What's one thing people buy that you feel is a waste of money?
Oh, tobacco. I'm guilty. I chewed for a long time. I quit when I was 34, and I haven't chewed in like 6-7 years now. So I'm pretty. Now you know how old I am, but tobacco, man. That's it. Nicotine's a bad thing, man.
I hear you. I was a former smoker, so I know how that went. What's a song you wish you wrote?
Oh,
that's a good one.
Boy, that's a tough one. There's so many good songs. But I think I would have to say, I wish I had written Long Black Veil. That song is like, Johnny Cash, when Johnny Cash sang that song, he didn't write that song, but I just think that song is probably one of the best country songs ever written.
Yeah.
Black Veil.
I love that, man. That's a unique answer. So I love that. I was just waiting to see what you're going to spit out on that one. So I was excited for that one.
Well, I don't know if you ever heard Dave Matthews did a pretty impressive cover of that.
Really? I'm about to check that out, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. What's a chore you don't like doing?
I don't like cutting my hair off. I gotta trim my hair. I don't like doing that, and I am also not a big fan of mowing the yard. There's something between those two are very similar tasks that I don't enjoy.
The common thread there.
Yeah. That's right. I just want it to grow. Just let it grow.
All natural.
Right.
I love it. What's your favorite microwavable food?
Oh. That's a tough one. Oh, probably those I think they're Marie Callender chicken pot pies. When I was in college, I could get those, and they'd be like, they're cheap. I could eat it. Felt like I had all of the food groups. So I do those chicken pot pies. Those are pretty dang good.
I love that, man. Well, we talked a little bit about it earlier, Promised Land. Do you mind playing us a little bit of Promised Land for us tonight?
Absolutely.
All right, man. We'll turn the stage over to you, buddy.
You always said life's the search for beauty and the truth. It's the ruts in the trail, the courage to fail, our burden, our proof. It's the mountains we climb, the peace that we find down that long, dark road. It's the scars on our hands, the blood in these lands that make this our home. And I'll be down, and I'll be damned. You can't scrub a hate with a bottle of shame. You might talk to the devil and never know his name. All you can do is love the view. Admit when you're wrong and speak the truth. And I'll be damned, and I'll be damned. You said, boy, why'd it take so long for you to take my words and put them in your country song? You said, boy, you might not understand, but it's just me reaching from the promised land. It's just me reaching from the promised land. There's a whole wide world just hiding in your memories, with Mountain so high, colors so bright, you can hardly believe. So just close your eyes and you will finally see. It's bigger than time, sweeter than wine, it's destiny. And I'll be damned. And I'll be damned. You said, boy, why'd it take so long for you to take my words and put them in your country songs? You said, boy, you might not understand, but it's just me reaching from the promised land. It's just me reaching from the promised land. It's just me reaching from the promised land. It's just me reaching from the promised land.
Oh, dude.
Such a great song.
Thank you so much.
I'm glad we switched that up.
I hope you guys could hear it good.
Oh, it
dude,
sounded fantastic.
It sounded amazing over
sounded
here.
great.
It
Absolutely.
sounded great.
Thank you so much.
Love it.
I'm really glad.
That's probably one of my favorites by you. If I had a pick, I think that's probably my favorite.
Hey, thank you so much. I want to tell you guys too, you know, I truly appreciate your heart and your advocating for independent artists and going out there and doing this. It takes a lot of courage to, you know, do this stuff. I know it's hard work, and I just truly appreciate you all having me on and all you guys do. So I just want to tell you thank you so much.
Man, we appreciate that, dude. We love this doing this. And it was something that we started a little bit before the pandemic, and it just grew. And it's just something.
And we get to meet amazing people,
exactly,
like you guys. You know,
and
it's fantastic.
It gives you all a platform, and hopefully the 5 people that watch hear it and share it and put it out there. No,
when it get
but no, we're very thankful to have artists grace us with like you and tell you their stories.
It's an honor for sure.
It's just amazing, dude. To hear your story and bring it all together tonight was awesome.
Well, likewise. Thank you guys so much. I truly appreciate it.
And we can't wait to see what's on the horizon for you, man. We know big things are coming for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're ready for next year. I'm ready for next year. I'm geared up and ready.
Yeah, I mean, I really, dude, I got some great players in my band. I can't wait to get out there and rock and roll and go out and share some new music. And, you know, I'm going to be hitting the studio again. And I've got new songs. Do you have a date? Do you have like a time frame release date or anything for those songs? Or what's your goal time? Well, I've got two songs right now that are getting mixed. They should be done hopefully in the next month or so. The next few, maybe we'll see. But you know, once I get those done, I've got about 4 or 5 weeks. I got to wait to try to get it all distributed and all that kind of stuff. You know, and I'm a little bit hesitant about doing a big release around Christmas because, you know, everyone's got stuff going on during Christmas. And when I'm like, hey, look over here, you know, I'm not sure yet. But this winter for sure, though. Nice, dude. I'm going to have some new music coming out this winter for sure. I'm going to have new music coming out in the spring. I've got one in the can that I'm ready that I want to release. I just got to get some approval on some stuff. And the band's going to record a couple of little live songs that'll be really interesting. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm going to be traveling and playing in Des Moines. I'm going to get out to Omaha. I'm going to get out to Denver again this summer. Hopefully get down to Dallas. Nice. Kansas City a little bit, hopefully. I need to get out and see a full band for sure. Yeah, up in Chicago. Hopefully I get up in Chicago. Maybe I'll land at Carol's or something. Hopefully that works out, you know. And
that'd be great.
Fingers crossed.
Great.
Yeah, right. You know, go up there and have a rocking time and meet some folks and, you know, share the love a little bit, you know.
I love that, buddy.
Out back, who knows?
Well, we appreciate you spending the last hour of your time with us tonight. We are very grateful that you chose us to come and hang out with on an amazing Monday night.
Yeah. It's a great night. This weather's been great.
Dude, I cannot believe how awesome this weather's been. A couple more days of it, let's hope, before the snow comes.
Yeah.
It's the calm before the storm, though, I feel.
Hey, well, duck season opens this weekend for us, so we're I'm gonna be in the duck line this weekend, hopefully. So
hell yeah, buddy. Well, good luck on all that. I hope you do well, and thank you again for spending some time with us, man. We'll talk soon.
You got it. Thanks so much, guys.
All right, dude. Talk to you later, buddy.
Bye.
I love that, man. Yeah, he's just awesome.
He's such a great guy.
Down to earth. See, he's hardworking, down to earth. The music he's putting out is it's meaningful. That's why, I mean, hell, you guys heard Promised Land tonight. Just an amazing song. So I'm glad that it went well tonight. It was a really good episode. And I didn't think anything less of Duke, though.
Yeah, I agree.
That guy delivers every time I've seen him and met him, and just phenomenal guy.
So talented in so many different ways.
But we want to thank you guys for joining us tonight on episode 145 with Duke Oursler. The passion and drive he has for his music and life speaks volumes. We want to wish Duke nothing but the best and can't wait to see what he accomplishes in 2023 and beyond. Don't forget to catch up on everything you missed from tonight and past episodes over at melodiesmemories.com. And we will see you next Monday. Or actually, no, we're off next Monday. Happy Halloween. We'll see you the following Monday.
Trick-or-treating.
Following Monday, and we'll be back November 7th. So we'll see you guys then. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
The Melodies and Memories podcast with Jillian and Aaron Schreiber, brought to you by Arlo Revolution. As we close the book on another chapter, remember, music gives us soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and life to everything. Next week, Jillian and Aaron connect more melodies and memories with the fans and artists they love. Thank you for being a part of this musical journey, and we will see you next time on the Melodies and Memories podcast with Jillian and Aaron Schreiber.